The 49ers have ended the second round, selecting Renardo Green, cornerback from FSU, while trading down with the Kansas City Chiefs. Ooh, let's talk about it. Welcome everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte. I'm Jason Aponte. Welcome. Like, subscribe, all that. The 49ers end the second round with a cornerback, Renardo Green from FSU. Runs a 4.49, 12 PBUs. It's supposed to look like a plus starter, a little bit, but you know when you have the tackle right in front of you, Kingsley from Yale, and then you allow Kansas City to get up in front of you, that's a little frustrating. But Renardo Green is going to be the pick, and again 4.49, good vertical jump. Somebody who actually plays the ball well. A lot of PBUs. I think that's something that we should hang our hat on. Again, I think a lot of 49er fans wanted an offensive tackle. It was right there for them, but they load up by trading back one spot with the Chiefs and ending up with a bunch of other picks afterwards. So, honestly, I don't really know. Like, it doesn't make anything like feel too bad. I think the 49ers were looking for a corner at this point. It just ends up being Renardo Green. Again, fast guy, plays the ball well. I think that's fine. Just a little odd to see them let the Kansas City Chiefs jump them for a tackle when they desperately needed one, and they had one right there in their sights. But hey, I guess they have a plan. Third round started. The Jets believe Malachi Corey is the pick. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let's see. Interesting pick. Not mad at it. Let's see. Has went up against top wide receivers. Has some good plays against the run too. Yeah, I mean, again, like kind of like what we talked about earlier, everybody else is loading up on offense. The 49ers decide to go with defense. Wide receivers are going to be tough to stop. Obviously, Marvin Harrison in the division, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith-Njigba. You got Puka and you got Cooper Kupp. It's going to be tough for them to cover again with how many 49ers cornerbacks are actually going to be under contract. This is going to be the discussion. They had the OT. What are we doing? I mean, they traded with the Kansas City Chiefs, allowed them to get there, and I mean, obviously they were fine with that, especially since they loaded up with some picks on the back end, to move down one spot. I guess tonight when the press conference starts, I think somebody's going to have to ask about this trade up, and we're going to find out what the thought process is. We can only speculate at this point. But yeah, Kingsley was right there for the 49ers to take, and they allowed Kansas City to jump up and grab him. So yeah. Big City says the Niners got sniped, made the best of it. Not sure they got sniped. They let them, they got sniped with Rosengarten, for sure. Baltimore, this is kind of what we were talking about earlier, where it was going to be the 49ers' responsibility to see the OT run happen and move up. They didn't. If they really wanted the guy, they would have, but seems like they were fine with allowing them to just jump up ahead and take Kingsley. So yeah, man, I don't know. Again, this feels like another one of like it's a fine move, right? Like, it makes sense. The 49ers have a need a cornerback, and like I said, Green's fast. He plays the ball well. But it feels like, again, like what you could have had, right? Thank you, Big City man. Again, perceived value is always going to be who was on the board. What did you get? You allow the Kansas City Chiefs to move up one more. You do the pick swap, and then you get an extra fifth round on the back end, which for the 49ers has been good luck. They've done really well in the fifth round. But this is typical 49ers. No matter who we think they're going to take, they always zag when everybody's going to zig. So yeah, let's see. Greatness 54. I think with the next pick, we need to start addressing both offensive and defensive line, though. Yeah. Eventually in this third round, it's going to have to happen. At least, this is moving a little bit faster. But, man, when you have a chance to get yourself somebody like Kingsley or Rosengarten, obviously Rosengarten was selected by Baltimore. kind of feels like you could have had an impact guy like right there, right away, you know? So Neil says, do you think OT or CB was a greater need? Both of them were, but um, I think offensive tackle. I think that's the best way to do it. So the best way that I've been trying to explain this entire offseason is I didn't think the 49ers were just going to run this whole line back. I thought they were just going to have like a safety net. And if they didn't get their guys, they didn't get somebody that they targeted, then they can always like fall back to this, right? With Feliciano and McKibbitz and and all these guys. But man, I don't know. It's starting to feel like they really, really do want to run it back a little bit just because of what they could have had right there in the second round. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I would have thought it was offensive tackle, and I thought that, if you address offensive tackle, then McKibbitz can become your like swing man who can move around, center, guard, anything like that, like in a pinch. But I guess Kyle Shanahan really does like Colton McKibbitz, man. That's crazy. So yeah, I uh, I think I'm a little shocked with that one. I really am. I would have thought honestly right away that it would have been offensive tackle, offensive line, some sort of offensive lineman. It ends up being Renardo Green from Florida State. So yeah. And then Big City Man says, "What do you think of the Rams grabbing another D lineman?" Yeah, Braden Fitz is a baller. Obviously, with the loss of Aaron Donald, they got to figure out what they're going to do with defensive tackle. I'm not saying that he's Aaron Donald, but that's a pretty good defensive tackle right there. His medicals are a little sketchy, but you know, I think at that pick, it's fine for them. Yeah. Illustrious says we just really don't care about offensive line. Um, I don't know. I think again a lot of what the way that Kyle thinks about things is that the scheme will overcome. I think just in the biggest moments, it's either a miscommunication or just a total one-on-one loss. At times, you can look at both. I think everybody points to that Chris Jones play in the Super Bowl towards the end, which was a miscommunication. We all know what happened with Feliciano and Burford, going back and forth about that. Other times, this guy's just getting overpowered. I don't know. I'll be honest. I really don't have a good. I don't have a really good answer for what's the thought process here. I think we're gonna learn a lot in a little bit. Um, in a little bit, we're gonna find out, in this press conference, what the thought process was. And Big City Man says so for sure. Wide receiver, yeah. The Niners were gonna stand pat with them anyway. Mike Silver reported that the Steelers tried to ask about Debo Samuel. Was it hitting their price? Again, the 49ers were gonna put up a price. If you can't hit it, doesn't matter. We're not gonna just get rid of a good player for no reason. So uh Callie says Brad is happy with this pick. No, I think Renardo Green's a great pick. I think again when you look at plus starter, somebody that you can find in the back of the second round. Not afraid to get his helmet 30 again. Fast 4.49. Like it's fine. Like it's fine. But again, when you look at Rosengarten going right before with Baltimore, and then letting Kansas City trade up and move in front of you so they could take Kingsley. I think that's how we're always going to remember this pick. We're always going to remember this pick with, well, if they stayed, they could have had Kingsley. They allowed the they allowed the Kansas City Chiefs to get up there and get their guy. So it's funny. Lance watch the neighbors matchup. You're trying your hardest right now. Yeah. It's The thing is it's funny. Lance Zierlein put out his mock, and he had Rosengarten and Kingsley going back to back, and he had the 49ers taking Rosengarten and Kingsley. Turns out it's going to be Baltimore and Kansas City Chiefs that end up with that. So, yeah, I think the press conference is going to give a lot of insight when it comes to this, about what the thought process is and what they really like about him. But yeah, it's always going to be measured up against these two offensive tackles that you missed out on. One because you got sniped by the Baltimore Ravens, and then two because of the trade up with the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think that's how everybody's going to look at this, and they're going to judge this going forward, not only today but years down the line. Um, so yeah, I again, I'm not going to tell anybody how to. I'm not going to tell anybody how to feel about this or anything like that. Like, but again, it feels like I probably would have addressed tackle with Kingsley before I would have done something like this. But hey, what do I know? I just wanted to pop in for a quick 10 minutes. I'm going to get out of here, and then I'm going to hop back on when the 49ers take the next pick. So shout out to all you guys. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for when we go live again in a little while. Enjoy the rest of the draft, and we'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Welcome, everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte.